Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today as we get into the preview for the most anticipated game this week. For sure. You know, this is, leaving best till last. This is the UEFA Conference Champions League. You know, the real UCL. And yeah, what happened yesterday? Yeah, don't talk about that. Let's talk about that. It's not important. You know, Legia Warsaw against Chelsea. That's the tie. That's the tie that everyone is focusing on. So much so that when I go to the BBC website to try and get some team news for both teams, they don't give it to me because it's too valuable. There's too much. You know what's mad? After witnessing what we witnessed yesterday, I have to be honest, hands up. Congratulations, Arsenal. I mean, wow. I did not expect that. I don't think anyone did. And not just in terms of the result, but the way that it went down. I mean, those Declan Rice free kicks were just absolutely incredible. I have to give some context though, yeah, because look, free kick number 2, I think one of the best free kicks I've ever seen. You know, top bins, when you want to put a ball in the top corner. Don't worry, we're coming to the Chelsea preview shortly. This is leading me to that. Don't worry, I'm on the right road. I've not taken a wrong detour. Just bear with me, yeah? Watch along. That free kick, you know when someone wants to put it top bins, right? Top bins. Top bins meaning the top corner. In like London lingo, we call it top bins. And then it kind of expanded. Now the rest of the UK says top bins. Top bins is like the top corner, right? Nowadays, you hit it in and around the top corner. I got it top bins. Yeah, technically he did. Declan Rice yesterday got it top bins. You know? Bins! Like, you could not get more. You could not get more top bins. Like, that corner, like, millimeters away from both edges of the woodwork. I mean, unbelievable. It was poetic. I hate to say it, but it was poetic. It was a phenomenal free kick. The first one, I have to give some honest critique. Yeah, people were getting a bit carried away, going, "Oh, it's better than Roberto Carlos." No, pipe down. Don't get me wrong. The bend on that free kick was exquisite. Yeah, it was about 2-3 feet away from the post. That is about. I mean, it's hard to tell from here, but probably about that far away from the post. The post was here. It managed to go that far wide to then come back in. Beautiful bend from Declan Rice. Roberto Carlos went to Brazil and back. Like, that will not be done ever again. That free kick from Roberto Carlos will never be accomplished ever again. The ball went that way and the goal was there. Like, that's how much it bent. Don't ever compare to Roberto Carlos. But unbelievable. Now, don't write off Real Madrid yet. Because it would be a very Real Madrid thing and a very Arsenal thing if somehow Madrid won 4-0 in the second leg. It just would. It just would. But I honestly believe Arsenal are going to go through. We'll see. But we had that game going on last night. Yeah, I mean, Arsenal with their best performance in 20 years. Without question, that was their best performance and best game in 20 years. 2 decades. Yeah? Arsenal fans will tell you this game will live in their memory forever. And fair play, right? It's a different gravy when you're going and actually winning the competition, but just saying. I'm so happy we get to lean on that whenever we need to lean on that. We get to lean on that, and not just once, twice. But again, we get to lean. We've got things to lean on, ladies and gentlemen. We got things to lean on. It's funny. So do Aston Villa. They're playing tonight as well. So do Nottingham Forest. But in terms of today and now, we witnessed that last night. And then tonight, I've got to come on here and give you a UEFA Conference League preview for Legia Warsaw versus Chelsea. after that. I almost feel like I'm insulting you guys. Like, that's honestly what it feels like. You know, it's absolutely insane. Now we can only do what we can do, but it's crazy. Just in the grand scheme of things, when I witnessed that, and then I go, bloody hell, we won that competition 3 years ago. We were winning that competition, like 4 years ago. We were winning that competition, and now we're in the Conference League. And Maresca comes out in the press conference, which, by the way, was meant to be streamed live, and then it wasn't live. Or what it was, well, okay, it was scheduled on the Chelsea page, everything was there, and then the press conference started and nothing was shown. Until the last question, and then all of a sudden it says starting soon, and then all of a sudden they show Maresca, and then he answers the last question, and he's like, peace, and he's gone. Like, what's going on? Can't we get anything right at this football club? Anything, yeah? We just saw what Arsenal managed to do against Real Madrid. This is what we can't get a press conference right. I mean, guys, you know, it is a massive reality check going on here. It is massive, massive. Now, in terms of the team news, I can only go off what I've heard from quotes by Enzo Maresca. I tried to watch the press conference. I couldn't watch the press conference because guess what? Chelsea fumbled it, right? All the players that we expect to be there are going to be there, basically. Marc Guéhi is not there, right? Now, talking about Marc Guéhi and talking about into this game, I want to direct you guys into the direction of right here, which I'm going to link to a podcast that I went on yesterday. It was uploaded today, so you can see it now. It's live. With a Polish Chelsea-orientated YouTube channel and show, the Seleni podcast, sorry. Here it is. Check it out. That's Blue Monday edition with myself. Thank you to Nicholas for having me on. We went into detail because we are playing Legia Warsaw. Now, Legia Warsaw are a Polish side, the most successful Polish team in Poland. And because Nicholas, Chelsea fan, by the way, I mean, these guys are Chelsea fans on there. Big up to every single one of them. But they're aware of Legia Warsaw. They know them. They know them inside out. So they have information that we would all love to know. So I went on there. We managed to get a really good conversation going on. Go and check it out for more insight on what to expect tomorrow. I'm going to try and give you a bit of a summary on brief little things that we spoke. But go over there and watch it and support the channel because, yeah, we had a really good conversation. And not just for, obviously, him having me on. We spoke, had a good time, but I managed to also ask him some questions and we got a bit of insight into what to expect against Legia Warsaw. Because tomorrow, like I mentioned in terms of the squad, he brought up Marc Guéhi and I was like, he's not fit, surely. Well, now today we find out he's not in the Conference League squad. And Maresca did mention that Marc Guéhi could be back before the end of the season. But in terms of heading to Legia Warsaw and that stadium, I learned a couple of things, which I'm going to bring to you guys. The couple of things I learned is their crowd are insane. Yeah? Tomorrow the stadium is going to be incredible. Now they have a 31,000 capacity stadium, but their ultras are mental. Mental. Yeah? So much so, he was telling me, he showed me a picture of one game where they had a massive tifo up and running, and there was a thing about having to control something that had happened with the ultras and all of that, and they made an agreement and everything was all good in terms of like behavior. And one side of the stadium was all like, yeah, everything's under control, all good. You go to the other side of the stadium, the ultras managed to get a banner in saying, surprise, mother, right? How flipping wide. They managed to get that in just to make a statement to go, yo, we can still do what we want. I mean, these guys are crazy. They're nuts. Now, Maresca, in this press conference, mentioned about coming to like stadiums and occasions like this, which will be good for the young players and it's a good experience for them. he kind of said it in a way that kind of made it look like we're happy to be here, which I'm not happy to be here. I don't want to give that impression. But I will say that if he is saying it in the angle of what we're going to encounter tomorrow will have at least a bit of benefit for the young players and they're, you know, having to deal with an environment like that, then yeah, of course, it does help. So it's going to be hostile tomorrow, for sure. For sure. They're the sort of crowds that will let off flares, fireworks, all sorts of noise. They've got ultras around the flipping stadium. It's sold out. It's sold out like this. We had the conversation about how the Stamford Bridge game is not sold out yet. You can still get a ticket if you want, because no one's bothered. Like, this is the reality. And I tried to explain to him in terms of the many factors at play here, not just in terms of the issues we have in the UK with fans, and we know what the current problems are, but on top of that, Thursday night, it's a Conference League game. People are priced out. There are issues. They don't want to go to this sort of game. There are fans that have not in accordance or in agreement with what they're seeing with Maresca and the way we're setting up. There are, like, overall so many issues that have contributed to fans just not wanting to go. Yeah. But the other side of things, in Poland, it's a sold out stadium. It's going to be rammed. It's not going to be easy. Now, the second thing that I learned, their manager sounds like quite a geezer. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. Gonçalo Fio, I think his name is. He's an absolute nutcase. I mean, an absolute nutcase. Now, he's Portuguese. So you can see where I'm going with this. Imagine if Mourinho had a son that misbehaves and has anger problems. Imagine that. That is the impression I get from this guy. This guy, who's in charge of Legia Warsaw, is very outspoken. He did give Chelsea a lot of praise in his press conference, apparently. I read the quotes, but he did also say that we're here to fight. We're not here to bend over. We are going to implement our style and what we want to, how we want to play, and we are coming for a result. We're going to make that clear. And I was like, fair play, fair enough. You got a bit of balls, and you're happy to make that clear. Then fair enough. I'm completely cool with that. He's a very outspoken guy. He will say things exactly how they need to be said, and I kind of like that, right? Then I started hearing the extreme things, and I was like, yo, this guy goes a bit too far. He's the guy who, in his previous job, punched the owner in the face. He punched the owner. Gave him a gash above the eyebrow, literally Alex Ferguson, David Beckham settings. This guy, and you know what's mad? He wasn't fired, and the owner, like, was still there, or the owner, director. It was someone in the hierarchy. Everyone stayed in place. Everyone was cool to continue to work. I'm like, yo, if that was England, you would have been in jail. You would have got a court case. You would have been fined, suspended, jailed, all sorts, right? Over there, gave him a punch in the face, mate, no problem. He also, after kicking off with fans, right, I don't know, he managed to get his way on something, got over to fans, started giving them the middle finger, gave them all sorts of intercontinental, swearing gestures. I mean, this guy is an absolute fruitcake. He is a fruitcake. That's the manager we're facing tomorrow. So this kind of scares me. Because in terms of quality, we should have enough, more than enough, to deal with Legia Warsaw. But in terms of the mental, and in terms of the occasion, and in terms of how the environment we're walking into, this is the problem when you don't have experience. Yeah, it's these sort of environments when you don't have experience and you're having to deal with a bunch of kids. You're just hoping they're gonna deal with it. Yeah, because there's no one to lead them through. I hope we're not coming up against a team tomorrow that are just willing to break all sorts of legs, because there's a UEFA competition, there's the crowd, the referees can get intimidated. These guys will probably just go all guns blazing, try and snap as many legs as possible, go in all physical, all sorts of shithousing, all sorts, yeah? I'm expecting it. So tomorrow we got to be awake. Stick to the plan. Stay cool, calm and composed, right? Don't let them get to you. You get to them. You try and snap their legs. Not too much. You don't want the ultras coming on the pitch. Yeah, be careful. Just saying. These things need to be managed. Emotional control. Yeah. In terms of quality, in terms of on the ball, yeah, we should have enough for them. More than enough. So it's important to try and go early and get the result. Yeah. And then manage the game. But we'll see how it goes. I expect us to get through anyway, because the second leg, like we spoke about on the podcast, the second leg, I expect us to walk. Literally walk it. But this game tomorrow in Poland is not going to be as easy as some are anticipating. It's not. And I'll give you the prediction at the end. In terms of starting 11, what do we do? Well, it's pretty straightforward. For me, it's pretty straightforward. I've gone with the same 11. Now Maresca's confirmed that Jorgensen, that guy, is starting tomorrow because Sanchez is our Premier League goalkeeper, apparently. It's not what we heard about, what was it, a month and a half ago when Sanchez got dropped and he was no longer the number one? Yeah, now all of a sudden he's the Premier League goalkeeper. He was never dropped. I'm just making that point. Jorgensen's in goal. In terms of the rest, listen. Players are rested, right? Players are ready to go, right? Let me have a look at something. We've got... I need to look at the fixtures. I need to check because tomorrow we're playing this game, but we play on the weekend. Now, what is it with some apps that just don't load? Big up Google, honestly. Google is just sometimes it's the one. Sometimes it is the one. We got Ipswich on Sunday at 2 o'clock. That should be enough, man. If we're not managing this, honestly, then this is why I said we should not even go to the Champions League. Like, what are we going to do? You know? You should be able to cope with Brentford away, Poland midweek, Ipswich at home. You should be able to deal with that, right? We're resting players and all sorts. Realistically, there isn't an excuse on this one. There should be enough to be able to go and get the result with a strong enough team and then take it from there into Ipswich on Sunday. I have the feeling as well that, look, this team is very strong with a formation that I think we should start implementing. Why? Because we don't have anything happening when it comes to our wings. You've seen what's happened. The Brentford game was a farce as far as I'm concerned. A complete waste of time and a waste of a game and a waste of points, right? Now we've put ourselves in a position in terms of the top four race where we are at a detriment. Newcastle win their game in hand, they go above us. Man City have a much easier run in. What are we going to do now? You know? We need to try and find a way that I think is going to compensate for the fact that we don't have wingers doing their jobs. And we're expecting everything on Nicholas Jackson here, surely. That shouldn't be the way. We should utilize wingbacks. Let Reece James and Cucurella do that dirty work then, going up and down the pitch. Some people are scared for Reece James. Listen, at this point, you know, you've seen the plays that we've got in A&E. Reece James is playing well. Let him play in his position. This will be his role, honestly. You know, and if something happens, what can I say? But we've tried our best. It is what it is. Because for me, that is going to make up for the fact that we don't have anything happening or coming from our wingers. Whether it's creating or whether it's shooting, whether it's goals, we don't have anything coming from it. So I would rather we play more plays inside and we play wing backs to go down the wings and compensate for that. Give us more numbers down the middle to be able to create and support Nicholas Jackson instead of just feeding it to him and then hoping he's going to do something, because chances are he won't. Chances are he won't by himself. If he's able to link up with players now, yes, he can do something. Little 1-2s, finds a space, goes around the defender, slots in, boom, he takes a chance and he scores. That can happen. But if you send the ball up to him and you go, all right, deal with it, and you expect him to dribble past 3, he ain't doing it. There's no way. It's not happening. So you got to try and make the most out of the situation you have. I feel like this does it. So I would have this starting 11. What would you do? Let me know down below. But that's my starting 11. In terms of the prediction, I said this yesterday, and I'm going to say it here. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win to Chelsea. Yes, 2-1. It's going to be tight. But I'm going to make an early prediction for the second leg. I'm going to say 3-0 Chelsea in the second leg. So I do think we go through, but I don't think tomorrow's going to be as easy as some people are anticipating it to be. We'll see. We'll see. Let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. I will catch all of you tomorrow after it's all said and done. We'll see how it all goes. And yeah, bring on Europe's prime competition, which is the real UCL, which we're playing tomorrow. See you then. Shameless. Absolutely shameless. Take care, people. In a bit. Peace.